Hello and welcome to episode 178. Right, I've got my old mate Wayne with me again.
Morning.
Me and Wayne haven't fished together for 15 months.
It's fair one, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was when we was at Farlows on Heron's Point, blanking our asses off, and we said we'd have to come back and have some retribution. So here we are, back at Farlows.
Bit more blanket.
Yeah. So yeah, we said we'd try and get retribution for that blank, so we're back again. Like I say, that was 15 months ago. Gone quick, hasn't it? Didn't seem like it was 15 months ago we last fished together. But anyway, we're not fishing yet. As you can see, there's no rods out. All my kit is still on the ground behind the camera. We've literally just rocked up. We've got at least 2 nights ahead of us. Wayne's doing 48, so I'm obviously doing a minimum of 48. I do have the option of doing a 3rd day if I want to, if I can, but we'll let the fishing decide. If we've caught within the first 48 hours, I'm going to stay and do an extra 24. If we've blanked again after 48 hours,
Suck it.
Sack it off and go home. We're in pegs 8 and 9, which is known as Goose Green, or it always used to be known as Goose Green. So nice bit of open water in front of us. The wind is blowing down this way, so hopefully that's going to be in our favour. And for those of you who know like the geography of the place, like Little Lake 3 is like right behind us where you come in anyway. Right, that's enough waffle, we need to get set up. Let's go fishing.
Let's go fishing.
Right guys, so first things first is to find some spots to actually fish. Now I am going to be using my bait boat this session because they are allowed. Farlows do allow bait boats now. But I still need to find some spots I'm going to fish first. Wayne's just had his deeper out on his bait boat. No, because he's cheating and everything using all that technology.
So, just so I don't find no weeds.
But so I've just done a little bit of marker up work with what will be my right hand rod, just off the camera goes. And I think on the weed front, I think I've got the better side of the swim because I'm aiming at a particular lamp post that's on the M25 behind the trees in the distance, guys. Although that was kind of about 6 foot right. If I'd hit the spot, I have actually found a nice little weed-free gravel spot. That being said, there wasn't exactly a lot of weed on that spot, but Wayne's definitely finding more weed on your side of the swim, aren't you?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's hit the mark this time, guys. And yeah, that's coming back lovely jubbly, that is.
Gravel, you got no swim, the company can come back and dig it.
And then about a rod length back towards me, that's when I'm hitting a little bit of weed. But as you can see, it's not really a whole lot of weed, to be fair, so like I say, I'm going to be using a bait boat, and to find that spot I will be showing you a little tip of how to get that range even with using the bait boat. So Well, I'm going to do a little bit more marker work, guys, try and find some clear spots for the other two rods, and then I'll get back to you in due course. Right guys, so after I found that nice spot that Wayne's very jealous about because it's pretty weed free, put the marker around the wrap sticks and I got pretty much 9 wraps. About 9 wraps and 1 foot if I want to be picky. So anyway, so what I did, I thought, well, if I keep everything simple, try and fish at the same range. I left, get the weed. I thought a bit of weed that Wayne's getting on his side, just a bit of a low-lying silkweed.
Jealous at all.
So anyway, what I did, I just left it in the same clip, searched around, starting at that pylon you can see on the left of screen. I aimed at that to begin with. Had a bit of a soft drop there, so it was a little bit weedy. Just come round to the right a little bit more. So as you're looking at the screen, just to the right of that pylon, you can see a bit of a rounded tree. So if I aim sort of in the middle of the pylon and a rounded tree, there's a swim on the other side of the lake, which is like the end of what they call the end of the arm. And then behind that swim, there's a nice little tree that's got a few kind of like scraggly branches I can aim at. So same range, so 9 wraps and 1 foot. Comes back nice and clear, hits a little bit of gravel and then hits the weed. Like I said, 9 wraps or 9 wraps at a foot. And then I can't really mark it, to be fair, but then what I'm going to do with my left rod, I'm going to fish it down the left line margin, and in between this peg and peg 7 there's a tree that's gone over into the lake, and it probably sticks out about 4 rod lengths. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the bait boat down off the end of that tree, but the reason why I can't mark it is because in between the swim and that tree there's another tree that overhangs the water, so I can't get a marker to it. So I think we're just going to take pot luck on the left hand rod and hope for the best. Could be a bit of a silly move actually, because there's loads of coots around there. There's actually, within the branches of that fallen tree, there's actually a coot's nest, so I could be asking for trouble, but we need to spread the rods out anyway, because, you know, Wayne's taking out half the water. Right, so I think I found the spots I want to fish, guys. And guys, so I've just done my wraps. So to find the range I'm going to fish using the bait boat, I'm going to employ some marker elastic. So obviously you don't really want to use the line clip when you're using a bait boat. So with the use of some marker elastic, I can get a nice bit off. There we go. So I've got me 9 wraps on 1 foot range, and all I'm going to do is put some marker elastic onto the line just in front of the bail arm. It's very much like tying a grinner knot. So that's not made a very good job of that, but there we go, got there in the end. So yeah, just a bit of marker elastic on the line. Let's get it bedded down nice and tight so it doesn't move. Cut the tag ends off, leave about an inch of tag so I can see the marker elastic clearly on the line. So then what I'll do when I send the bait boat out, as soon as I see the bit of elastic come off the spool, I know that's when I have to drop me rig and bait, etc. Right guys, so I'm going to repeat the process with the second rod, and then in theory that's all the wrapping I should have to do this session, because like I say, once the lines are marked with the old marker elastic, then unless I decide to change the spots I want to fish, then yeah, in theory I shouldn't need to do any more wrapping up this session. Right guys, so after a bit of faffing around with, you know, obviously getting set up and then looking for the spots, I am practically ready to start fishing now. So I thought before I start fishing I'll show you how I'm going to fish. I know I don't normally show you how I'm fishing until I've caught something, because that's just the way I do it, but so if I can untangle this, so we've got at the line end, we've got your kind of big standard lead clip rig. It's one you call a hybrid lead clips, 3-ounce flat pair lead, and then the rigmarole tubing, and then the actual rig is some that I've not really fished. I say I've not really fished with before. It's a new take on an old rig. So you know how like your old like coated fluorocarbon rigs where you'd strip a bit off at the bottom below the hook, so you'd have your stiff section and your supple section. What I'm doing is similar to that, albeit with kind of new sort of tackle really. So a lot of you know I like to use the old Gemini boom, especially with the Ronnie rigs. Well, I've got the old sort of the multi booms, I think they're called, where it's got the if you can see that, just like a little loop fused on the end of it. And then, as you'd have already spotted, we have got one of the quarter claw hooks in a size 4, little bit of armour cord braid that's tied onto then the boom. So yeah, so it's like your old-fashioned, you know, your coated braid rigs, where you know you got your stiff section and then your supple section, but it's just using newer components. And these claws and the braided bit is actually ready-mades as well. I know a lot of you say, oh, tie your own, yeah, whatever, but I mean these are just handy. The, you know, the quarter loops, size 4 claws, it's just fishing made easy really. So, you know, as I say, I've already got them 3 on, that's a spare pack. I mean, I've never used the claw hook, and I've never used a kind of a loop to a boom section like this before. So essentially, it's something I've fished before, but yeah, but new sort of tackle to make it. Yeah, I mean, it makes everything simple. I mean, in theory, if I get a fish and the hook blunts, all I got to do is cut that off and just tie a new one on. It's simple, really. And then before I do go, even though I'm using the bait boat, just to help prevent any tangles, not that it should obviously use in the bait boat. I'll just stick PVA nuggets on there just to aid everything sort of going out nicely. And then in theory, if I do happen to drop my rig on a bit of weed, you know, obviously once it drops, that will stay popped up until the foam drops off, and then I'm fishing with nuts wafters from Hinders. And when I was in Hinders last week, Steve did say to me they're actually going to name the new nuts bait, sort of regurgitate one of the old Hinders bait names, which is the Nuts 365. So it's not the old Nuts 365, but because that bait doesn't exist anymore, they're gonna reuse that old bait name but on the new bait. So technically it's now the Nuts 365, but not the old Nuts. I'm waffling, let's just get the rods out. Right guys, so that rig I just showed you is now in the boat, and so I'll also show you what bait I'm going to put out with the boat. So we've seen this mix already in a couple of previous videos, which is the boilie crumb that I had made up. It's, you know, boilie halves and boilie chops, boilie crumb. Well, not going to put a lot. Well, that much. Then for a bit of visual, just a little bit of the old golden nuggets. And because it's winter, it'd be rude not to use a few maggots, so a little sprinkling of maggots in there as well. Right, first rod ready to go out. Put the lid on. As I've said, I've got the line marked up with my marker elastic, so as long as I've got it pointing in the right direction, as soon as I see that line come off, that marker come off the reel, rig, the bait and everything, so yeah. Rod Rod number 1 is out. Right, that's it guys. So just to speed up the vlog a little bit, done the other 2 rods off the camera. So that's it, we're fishing. So fingers crossed, like I said, 15 months ago me and Wayne was in, we both blanked, so hopefully we can get redemption. Alright, just need to tidy up the living quarters now and then yeah, we're properly sorted. Alright guys, so Wayne's just having a bit more of a lead around trying to find a cleaner spot to fish, because where he did have his rods up to now, it was that horrible silkweed, so even my right hand rod is still going left, so I said to Wayne, come left a bit, see if we can find some clearer lake bed. Yay! Which you have.
I have.
Yeah, it's all quite, I mean, what's 2 o'clock, so we've only been fishing 3 hours, but the chap to my left in peg 7, we see him have a run, but he never got it in, and then so peg 10, 11, 12, we've just seen someone get a fish in from up on our right hand side from, I think, I'm sure it's peg 12, if not it's peg 13 up that way. So yeah, because we've seen a guy to our left have a run and a fish come out to our right, at least we know we're in the right area where people are getting runs and fish are coming out, so it just fills you with a bit more confidence we're in the right area. I mean, to be fair, we didn't do any watercraft of searching of swims. It was like, there's a double swim, let's get in it so we can be social, and it kind of thing, rather than looking around where, for where we could see signs of fish. It was very much a where can we be social, that's where we're going to get in. So but the fact that we have seen at least 1 fish and seen someone else have a run, just gives us a bit more confidence that we are in the right area, whether it by fluke rather than judgment.
That's it, yeah.
And guys, bit of a strange occurrence going on Wayne's rods, or 2 of Wayne's rods. We've been kind of sat here for about the last 5 minutes watching the bobbins go up and down on his left and middle rod, sometimes individually, sometimes at the same time, but nothing's really happening. It's almost like there's a fish trailing a rig out there, and it's just kind of doing circles and kind of going over them 2 lines with a trailing rig, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
it's slow, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just, the bobbins are just kind of raising and dropping slowly, not
enough to get your heart racing, isn't it?
Bit of a weird one, isn't it, the way they've been doing it. So yeah, so we're going to watch it closely, see if anything develops.
So really, the middle and the left, there's literally synchronised, weren't they?
Yeah. We thought, maybe it's bird life, because as I've put it out already, there's a bit of bird life out there, but while it was doing it, there wasn't no birds out there diving, so it's not, I wouldn't put it down to bird life. good.
No.
I think it's a fish with a trailing rig going around your lines.
Yeah. Well, hopefully catch it.
Yeah.
We're here to free him with this. Look.
Anyway, watch this space. If anything develops, we'll let you know. Right guys, so whatever activity it was that was going on with Wayne's rods that we showed you earlier on, it's all but stopped now. So yeah, I mean there's not much bird life out there. Nothing was diving at the time. I can only put it down to a fish trailing a rig because it was very intermittent, wasn't it, on both rods, apart from once where it kind of, where I think maybe it must have picked up both lines, but yeah, it's all but stopped now, which would suggest to me it was a fish trailing a rig that's now swam off elsewhere in the lake. So but anyway, so the time now is 5:30. It's probably, well, we're losing the light now. It's probably going to be fully dark in about 15-20 minutes, I reckon. So the camera will be going away for the night soon as we lose the light. But yeah, hopefully I can get the camera out again for either myself or Wayne in the night to show you something pretty.
Me, hopefully.
What? Show
Well,
you how pretty you are?
Well, you're on the flyer, so it should be you, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah. When I said something pretty, I meant a fish, not you.
Ah. Oh. Well, I have to agree with you there, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to retouch the rods, or I haven't retouched the rods since the initial, well, I would say cast, but the initial boat out. So I mean, they've only been in the water 6.5 hours, so I don't feel any need to start. Oh, sausage!
Do you want my sausage, Chris?
Nearly lost your sausage.
Never, I lost it.
Yeah. Oh, nearly ruined it for a bit of comedy content.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like a disco, just need a bit of music now.
Right, anyway guys, right, I'm going to put the camera away very shortly. Fingers crossed we can
You see me with a 34 pound, 9 ounce mirror at 10.25 tonight.
If you get a 34 pound 9 ounce fish, I'll give you a tenner.
Yeah.
That's to be on the dot. Right, hopefully see you in the night guys. Well, good morning everyone. And did you like all that nighttime footage? Oh god, what a hectic night it was. Yeah, obviously nothing happened last night. All that happened was one of Wayne's rods had to be wound in because he got fed up with it bleeping all night because it had picked up a big chunk of weed.
Very annoying.
And there's a rod robbing on the left rod. Got the rod. Oh. We'll feed him later on. Yeah, my right hand rod got picked up by one of the many coots that's out there. So luckily enough he didn't hook himself, he just picked the bait up, realised that there was a 3 ounce lead attached to the other end and dropped it again. It was enough just to raise me bob into the blank. So. But yeah, do I stick with them same tactics with that boom and loop rig, fishing a wafter? It is a little bit weedy out there. I might switch up my tactics to Ronnie rigs later on maybe. I'll make up my mind when the rods come in, because probably won't be long before I'll have to have a facilities visit, especially after this Bailey's hot chocolate has gone through me. So I'll make up my mind what rigs go back out once they come in, and I'll see the state of if I bring any weed in or not. Well guys, we said we didn't have any action, but Wayne's just gone to wind his rods in just so he could go and visit facilities, and it was really clogged up. Thought it was weed. There's actually a fish on the end. We got about 20 pounds of fish and about 50 pounds of weed here, guys.
And myself. Oh, it's cold as well. There we go. £24 1 ounce. Absolute cracker. Beautiful fish. Colours on that. Show you the other side. Look at that. Colours on that. Beautiful. £24 1 ounce. Redemption has been made, and I still desperately need a wee. Right, let's get some photos.
Right guys, so you join me just as I'm putting my third and final rod out for the morning. Wayne's just popped to the shops to go and get some coffee because he's ran out. So I'm ditching that margin rod that I had on the end of that tree because when I brought it in it was really weedy. So I'm sticking with where I was fishing on my right hand rod. I've got a rod out kind of in the middle of where I was fishing my right and middle rods. So my left hand rod is going out on what was my middle rod. Got the Ronnie rigs on now. Yellow hook baits, which is the XO carp flavour. Bait boat is the same as, the contents of the bait boat is the same as what I did yesterday. Little handful of boilie crumb, bit of sweet corn, a few maggots, although the maggots are deciding to crawl at the bottom of the boat, so let's get the thing out there quickly. Right guys, so if you saw my last video where I was at Acorn Fishery and I started off on the PVA bags there, I put a caption up that I was doing something to my hook baits that I actually then didn't go on to show because of the change in tactics I'd done in that session. And I haven't done it this session, and because we're blanking, I'm going to do it ready for when the rods get redone this evening on fresh hook baits. So got my 3 hook baits there ready, because they're only 12mm hook baits and I'm using a size 4 hook. They're just not quite buoyant enough, so they're being plugged with just a little bit of cork. You may have noticed it earlier on when I showed you it in my little Ridge Monkey bucket where the rig was sitting up nicely. That's because they're plugged with a bit of cork. But anyway, so what I'm going to do with these hook baits is get them prepared for this evening when the rods get redone, and that's with a couple of new products that Hinders are going to be bringing out shortly. So the first one, because there's no proper labels yet because it's not out yet, but HBSE, that means Hinders Bait Sweetener Enhancer. So it's a kind of a sticky, kind of gloopy and then fruity kind of smelling liquid. And then the second product that I'm looking forward to sort of really using in the future, there we go, just looks like dust, but there we go, beetling bee extract. It's basically powdered beetling, and those of you that know or watch my videos regularly will know I like the old beetling. So first thing I'm going to do, just get the old hook baits, give them a nice dunking in the old sweet enhancer. Get the old powdered beetle in. Go guys, a nice coating of sweetness and beetling goodness. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to leave the baits actually in that powder until I need them later on. So give them a little dunk in the powder. Give them a nice coating, lovely jubbly. Hopefully this little booster that I'm doing with these hook baits will be enough to try and get me that also desperate bite that I need at the moment. I'll have to put the lid back on there because, knowing me, I'll spill it if I leave the lid off. Like I said, and those 3 hook baits can just stay in that tub, soaking up the goodness until they're required later on. Right guys, we are about 4:30 now, and me and Wayne have decided now's the time to sort of start getting our rods in to get them rebaited on fresh hook baits for the evening. As you can see, Wayne's already got 2 of his in. I'm about to start doing mine in a minute. Well, something's happening on the M25. The traffic's moving very slowly, that's for sure. But yeah, so anyway, as I said, now's the time to start getting the rods in to get them rebaited on them hook baits that I've boosted up for the evening. Hopefully, if I hit my marker correctly, you know, using that marker elastic tip I showed you yesterday, there should be little to no weed on the rig. It sure is. A little bit hanging around the back lid and very minimal amount on the rig, which I'm confident that would have come in on the retrieve anyway, rather than being, you know, with a rig sat like that. So yeah, so at least I know I'm hitting me spots with that marker elastic tip I showed you. Right, let's get the other two rods in and then we'll get those boosted hook baits on. Right guys, just getting the rods back out now for the second and final evening. Made one small change, still putting the bait in the boat, but I haven't put the boiling crumb because no fish have come for me up to now. I've forgoed the boiling crumb because that's probably too much food items to go out again, and instead I've just put some mini combo pellet in there instead. Still got some sweet corn in there for visual. Still put some maggots in there as well because it's winter and I needed to use up what the maggots I had with me. So 2 rods have gone out already, lovely jubbly. Just doing the 3rd rod now, so and that's it. We'll be set for the second and final night. Stop the boat a minute because I can't see me marker on me spool, so let's just twist the spool round until I can see me marker. There we go. Fingers crossed guys, with those few little changes that I've done, you know, like boosting the hook baits and, you know, putting the micro pellet out there instead of the boilie crumb. Fingers crossed. It's easing up to me mark slowly now. The elastic marker is just come off the spool now, so bombs away. Good morning everyone. Saturday morning, pack up time in a few hours, and the second night, apart from the wind, was a very quiet night. I was woken up at 6 o'clock this morning with a little on the middle rod with bobbin come up tight and just sat there, so I've put it down to just a liner. Just chatting to Wayne just now, just wondering if it was the same things happened as well, what Wayne had yesterday when he had his fish, whereas there's so much weed out there, fish has maybe hooked itself, but then just, you know, not tethered, but then just can't move just because there's a load of weed on them. So, out of curiosity, I am going to lift up the rod just to check. And that is a resounding no, there's nothing on the end. Quite as lucky as you. I've already packed the bait boat away. I put that back in the van last night, guys. Couple of hours. This can go back out. Just as a random cast. I'm not even going to clip it up to me mark. Literally off the baited spot for the last few hours and to fish it as a single. Cast that right in the middle of coop territory. So, yeah, so as I said, we are sort of packing up late morning, lunchtime late at the latest, which kind of potentially gives us 3-4 hours fishing time. Fingers crossed. Well then guys, we are literally in the middle of packing up, and I say in the middle of packing up, and Wayne has just had a screaming one-toner on his left-hand rod. Honestly, another hour, half an hour and a half, maybe at the most. We were planning to sort of do our final wind-in. Honestly, just at a shot of camera, all our shit is everywhere. Where's he going? Right guys, we've got a bit of a nip one pill one situation because it's managed to pick up my middle line, but we'll get that sorted. We'll show you the fish when it's untangled. Okay then guys, well
that was a bolt out of the blue and a strike of luckiness. Me and Chris started our pack down, took the non-essentials back to the car and van, literally putting our wraps away, you know, nearly done. And then suddenly Chris is shouting to me, Wayne! The wind's blowing across. Couldn't hear my alarm going. One toner going out into the middle lake. And yeah, I'm lucky to have got another beautiful mirror at
2514.
And it's absolutely bruised as well. See if it behaves soft, isn't it? Won't be able to the last one. Maybe not. There we go. How about that? Cheers, Chris. It's cut up.
Oh, it's having a good old poo in your
Keep still.
Oh, it doesn't like being.
The fish doesn't like water. There you go, guys. 25 pound 14, and this one come right in front of me over towards the church, about 12 wraps out. There's a church you can see, and I had one rod on the left and one rod on the right.
Both fish have come off that church.
Yeah, both come off that church now. So 12 wraps towards the church. Bearing in mind that is using Chris's wraps, which is marked out at 13 foot, not the 12 foot.
No, it is 12 foot.
It is 12 foot.
Yeah, I still do.
It's still 12 foot, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, even though I use 13 foot rods, I still do.
Keep it all
12 foot, yeah.
Right. To the other side.
Awesome fish. Got some nice 12 starburst scales on.
There we go. Stubborn fish.
Oh.
Right, I'm going to get some photos, I think. And then I was dry this morning. Right. I'll get some photos and then we'll slip it back.
Right guys, we are more or less finished. We are literally down to rods on the ground. So yeah, 15 months ago we was here and blanked. We come back for redemption. Wayne managed it, but my winter struggles continue. But anyway, even though I've blanked, well, I've blanked 10-15 minutes to go, but yeah, even though I've blanked, it's been good to fish with, catch up with my mate Wayne again.
Yeah, it's been a while, isn't it?
Yeah, like I say, even though I didn't catch anything, it was good to see Wayne put 2 fish on the bank, and lovely stunning fish they were at that as well. And like I said, that's your first session for 4 months as well, isn't it?
Is, yeah. So
yeah,
I made up for that.
nice for you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my winter struggles continue, guys. On to the next chapter.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. I think next session, because it's been a couple of months since I've been on Aspen, I'll head there for my next video. But till then, tight lines.
Tight lines.
Good catching up with you again,
Yeah.
mate.
Don't leave it so long next time.
I'll see you in the next video, guys.
Bye.